shields, with visors, with truncheons, with guns, with dogs, with cars, with police in them, running round the place, racing round the place, looking for supporters. The supporters, I think by and large, have gone off into the dark, as it were, but it is a very, very sad sight indeed. And let me stress this point. I try not to exaggerate these things, but it is terrible to see so much glass about the place.
Got to stop you there. Thank you very much indeed. Unhappy news, I'm afraid. Well, as far as the football is concerned, we're putting our money on Gary Lineker finding his goal touch tomorrow afternoon. Join us if you can at 4 o'clock, England v Holland, the match that matters live, and highlights at 10:25.
Waddle. Lineker! Oh, yes, it's there! Super goal by Gary Lineker.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please.
Wimbledon 88, the world's greatest tennis tournament, only on BBC Television.
And on BBC Two, shortly, highlights of the first day's pageant of pomp and plumage at Royal Ascot. Here on One, Humphrey Lyttelton talks to the legendary jazz violinist Stefan Grappelli as part of his 80th birthday celebrations.
Stefan, once again, many congratulations on your 80th birthday.
Thank you.
Very successful concert here at the Barbican.
Yes.
And I believe the first time in Europe that you've worked on stage with Yehudi Menuhin.
Yes.
You worked in America, but...
Yes, we've been working in America. We've been playing at the Wolf Trap. It's near Washington. It's a huge place. He plays violin. Then I play with my group. Then we joined together like yesterday. Mm-hmm. It was a very happy meeting. A lot of people were there, 35,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. And of course,
it's a huge place.
A full house here at the Barbican also to welcome you.
Yes, it was lovely. Everything was perfect. By the way, Humphrey, I'm so pleased to see you after all those years.
It's been a long time since we sat and talked anyway.
I hope one day you bring your trumpet and you play with me.
I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. I was here for a little bit at rehearsal yesterday, and as a jazz musician,
I saw you.
It was fascinating for me to watch you and Menuhin rehearsing, and to see this great musician at the very top of his field of his in the world, looking worried, looking anxious, and watching you all the time.
Well,
and with his bow poised, waiting to come in at the right time.
I noticed last night when I've got the joy to announce him, he get a reception which was special for him. I suppose it was not only for his violin playing, which is marvelous, but also for the good thing he does.
Indeed,
School,
yes.
and to help people and to help beginners. Really is a man of very great importance.
And a man,
for
I think, of great courage to
yes,
play jazz on the same stage with
and
you.
it was quite fun because I supposed to improvise, and I've got the music. He's used to play with music, and he was playing by heart. And as a matter of fact, we were all astonished how he managed to memorize all that. I suppose because, you know, the classical people, they are so used to play concerto, difficult things, long work, by memory, you see, is trained for that. We play, as you know, a team, 32 bars only, then we develop it the way we wanted. All depends on the talent you got, but we develop that, and but I will be unable to remember those two. Lady Be Good, which I played for 65 years, I will never be able to memorize in a few hours the arrangement we play, the arrangement of Max Harris, if you hear.
That's right, yes, yes. You had some classical training, didn't you, in your early days?
No, really not. I had the violin when I was about 13 years old. After the First World War, in 1918, my father, to amuse myself, he's got the opportunity to have a little violin. He gave it to me. It was no question I will do a career. I didn't know it will be my life. But I played for amusement. And I was obliged to work. You see, in those days it was not like today. You must go to the school till 18 or 16. You can work even when you were 10.
And you spent a lot of time alone, didn't you?
Because
your mother died.
And I was obliged, and I never had a teacher. I found out my way. I'm not the only one. My partner then, later on, Django Reinhardt, was autodidact too. And we managed to do a group which was quite well known, if I can say. From the little job, I went to a silent picture. From a silent picture, I meet some people making me do evening party. Then I was 19. I was engaged with Gregor and his Gregorian. 17. It was one of the first big band. They call it big band jazz, you know.
Similar to Paul Whiteman, but that kind of...
It's a bit smaller, because Paul Whiteman has a really...
Stefan, before we go on, I want to take you back a little bit, because when you were playing in the cinema, when you first started playing in the cinema, you weren't playing jazz then?
No, of course not, because I was about 14 or 15. It was no jazz in Paris.
And what did you play?
Because we have no record to listening to. But we were, every week, we change the program. You play Mozart, you play Haydn, and music like that. The week after, you had a dramatic film, so you play I don't know what kind of music goes with it.
That's how you learned to play.
Yes.
Did you also play in the street at all? I mean,
well, I did
busking?
it. I did it. I don't like to say that too much, but I did it. Some were very good, you know. And as a matter of fact, I left the cinema to go back to the street.
Really?
I was making more money.
Can you remember when you first heard jazz of any kind?
My first experience with jazz record, that was when I was 15 in 1923. And I learned a record, you know, one of those records were very thick there in those times. Mm-hmm. Only one face, you know, it was Mitchell and his band.
Oh, Louis
and
Mitchell.
I was so affected by that music, I said, I like to play that music. And since I only dreamed to play that music, that's all. Then, of course, I hear some more. After, when I was, I think, 17, 18, I heard about Big Bederweg pianist on the piano, Frankie Tromboer, Eddie Lang. Then came Louis Armstrong. And the last shock for me was that great American pianist, Art Tatum.
They were all the influences on you, I believe, as
course.
well. Can you remember the first record you heard of Louis Armstrong?
No.
I can remember my one. I can remember Basin Street Blues.
Really? I think the man was Hobo Blues.
Hobo, yeah.
And you know, you must be, anybody is influenced by somebody, you say. So I must admit I've been influenced by those people. I want to put on the violin, as I have no classical training, I want to put on the violin what I heard from those black artists. You know what I mean? The way Armstrong play, I say, what, I can't do that on the violin. And that's why I did, I want to do that way to play, excuse me.
It's a very different instrument, the violin, from the trumpet. Did you at any time feel that maybe you couldn't get the power from the violin?
The power, of course, there is not the same volume of the trumpet sound. That's not possible. And in those days, it was quite difficult because the jazz was not existing in those days. You play for dancing, but on American music. That the high society, you play that music, and that's the music we used to play. And anywhere, T42 was the great mode. T42, Lady Bigot, that was music everybody played, but for dancing. The era of concert came much later on, of course.
What aspect of Louis Armstrong impressed you most? Was it the technique, the trumpet technique?
No, it was the way he was singing.
Oh, really?
Yes, his way to put the word, which I couldn't understand, mind you.
I don't think not many English-speaking people at first could understand.
But I like that. I think these men wanted bring to such a joy to his generation. I don't know anybody else. But in the intellectual way, I think Art Tatum did a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, Art Tatum, one of those greatest artists I heard in my life. Mm. When you consider Horowitz, Arthur Rubinstein used to go to those cellars in a club full of smoke to hear that phenomenal pianist. Yeah. That proved that jazz music means something to them. When you think Maurice Ravel has been many times in America to hear black artists from New Orleans and maybe somewhere else, I don't know, as a matter of fact, I heard this not long ago, his concerto in G for piano, and I heard the phrase there, and I don't know who did it first, Gershwin or him, and it's the same way. So I'm sure Maurice Ravel was affected by that, not affected, was inspired by that music as well.
Because you were a piano player and still are a very, very fine piano player. In fact, you worked in Paris more as a pianist.
Yes, because I was making a better living as a pianist and violinist, because it was no microphone to play the violin. I mean, thinking, dancing. You see, the people used to dance in those days, not to listening. Mm. Jazz means nothing to them. They want to amuse themselves dancing. To listening, jazz music came much later on.
I'd like to ask you, Stefan, you didn't play the piano on the concert.
Because when Laurie Holloway is about, I'm not going to play.
Well, Laurie Holloway is nowhere in the building now. Stefan. I wonder if you would play a little bit of piano, because I'm sure there are many people who don't realize what a fine piano player you are.
That piano is up.
We have it specially imported for you.
Okay. Where is your trumpet, by the way?
I left it behind. Mm-hmm. I came to...
That's all for today.
Shall we go back to our
Yeah.
comfortable seats? Of course, when you started to play piano, you hadn't heard Arte. When did you first hear Arte? In the middle 30s, I suppose.
In 1932.
Oh, yes. Okay. I noticed you like to play stride piano, which is one of my favorite forms of piano playing, which has existed all the way through jazz, right up to modern
No,
piano
mind you,
playing.
now I'm lack of practice. You see, I don't never play the piano except when we do a tour for 5 minutes to have a little ballade. You know, that's all I do. I should, because I like the piano so much, I should practice a bit more. But you see, can't do. When you travel, I can't bring a piano with me, you know. So I play the piano where I find it. Sometimes they are so bad and I can't play.
You mentioned earlier a group that you played with in the, well, through the 1930s, which achieved a certain amount of fame, the Hot Club, the Quintet of the Hot Club of France. When did you first meet Django?
I was playing in a nightclub in Montparnasse in 1932. I was playing there, and I saw a young person came to see me, asking me if we can meet because he played the guitar, and he would like to find a violin who play like that. I said, what do you mean by playing like that? A bit of like that, like that. And he was very interesting to look. He was a very simple man. It was, as you know, Django Reinhardt. We meet him, and he used to live in a caravan in the door of Paris with all his people, all the gypsies, all around Paris they were. And I went to his caravan when he invited me to spend a few hours there, and I discovered that world. And I remember he had a caravan with a horse and something to get warm in his caravan. And mind you, they were living very well, those people. Very simple, but good. They were not starving, they were warm, they were very interesting. And of course, they can't speak a long time, you see. They are very shy, you see. The best way for them to speak is to play. So they never speak, they always play. Mm-hmm. So they asked me to bring my violin, and we start to play like that between us. The
quintet, it wasn't a regular group, was it? I mean, you didn't play like in one place every night.
I was working. Django was playing his guitar. I suppose he was. I think he was once playing in a bar where the people dance, you know, like that. Mm-hmm. He was playing the banjo then.
Really?
Yes. But I was really amazed to hear him, his dexterity. He didn't know one note of music. He could read. He was unable to read. So when he goes somewhere, he was obliged to have a taxi because he couldn't take the underground, the subway, because he can't read the station. So it's like that. And slowly, I teach him to read a little bit, because he said one day to me, I would like you to teach me to read because you are instructed. I said, me instructed? He said, yes, because you read the newspaper.
It was an extraordinary partnership, really, because in a way you were a great contrast. Because
it was very interesting to play with him, because with him, you really don't need nobody else. And we could play with him. It was an orchestra on his own. Mm. And what I can't understand is when he was 18, he was in his caravan, and he was in his bed there, and he was smoking, and he put a cigarette on a basket where his mother was making flour in celluloid. I don't know in English, celluloid.
Celluloid, yeah.
They were making flour to live, you see. And he threw his cigarette in that basket, and the basket exploded, you see, and he was burned all over the place. He's been 1 year in the hospital for that terrible burn, and he lost his hand, finished up like that, you see, and with the bullet, it was all burned.
Yeah.
So the surgeon decided to amputate his hand. So he was terrified, and 3 or 4 cousins, you know, they're all cousins, those people. They came there, take him out of the hospital, and since that day, he was all right. So occasionally it was some difficulty, but he's too. The people said, "How can he play the guitar with 2 fingers?" Of course, those 2 fingers are the most, as you know, the most solid, you see. So that's why he's got that tone, because he was playing melodic with only 2 fingers and with a strong sound, because they are very solid. And with that, he managed to put that on the E and that on the B, like that. That's why he played all those things.
Incredible. Incredible.
Yes, he was amazing, really.
His harmonies were extraordinarily interesting.
Yes.
Was that all intuitive? He didn't learn?
No. He's born a classical player. His move of the bass was absolutely classical. Like Bach, like Beethoven, he knows which one will be the best. And he was very naive, you see, too, because he was reserved. He knew he can't read, because he don't like the people know about that.
Who took care of business with the quintet?
Well, I'm not a businessman, but I was obliged to do it.
Did he ever have anything to do with contracts? Or?
No, see, I remember a story about that. We got a young man came to see us, and that was in 1937. A young man came to see us, if I can say his name, it was Lou Grade, who became a lord.
Famous agent. Yeah.
Well, he came to see us in Paris. He proposed to coming in England. Django was so pleased about that because he liked jazz. You see, Django. So everybody knows jazz means English language. You know what I mean. You can't. It's better to listen to St. Louis blues in English than in any other language, without insulting anybody, of course. So he was so pleased to come in here. He said, we go. And Lou Grade proposed us a small contract, you say, because he can't speak French, we couldn't speak English. And he said, we will engage you in 1938, all the year. And I will bring a contract tomorrow if you want to sing that. I said, yes. And I said to Django, listen, I'm going to read that paper. If it is okay, you know, I'm not a lawyer, but I can see if it is okay or not. I'm not I said, I will read the paper. If it is good, I give it to you. And you pretend it's good. The day after, Lou Grade came back. He's been to an agency there, translating a contract. And of course, we found that few. And alors I give that to Django to read that, to pretend and read. And for some reason, I don't know what is the matter with him, he said, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. He wants to be funny, you know. So we all go there to the piece of paper. Travel paid, return, first class. He don't like it.
After the war obviously broke up the quintet for that time because you were over here in Britain and Django was in France. When you reunited after the war, of course, there'd been a lot of changes in jazz. Charlie Parker had come.
I used to live in London at that time, and on the 26th of January, like yesterday, somebody said there's 2 persons waiting for you. That was in 1946, just after the war. Oh. And I was living in the Piccadilly at that time. And I went to the salon there, and I saw Django Reinhardt with Charles Delaunay. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, we came to see you to say happy birthday. I said, well, thank you very much. And of course, Delaunay was not there for my birthday. He was there to make a record. So the day after, we had that record made with two young English guitarists. Unfortunately, I forgot the name. And Coleridge Gould as a bass. We found. So we went to the studio, and I don't know what's happened to me. We start to play the Marseillaise. And that's the day we did that. And of course, we had some difficulty in France because it was the way we play. Some people think, you don't know, they think we are obscene to play Marseillaise like that, jazz.
Yeah.
They say they don't like it. And they break the record.
Huh?
So now somebody, a few years ago, somebody managed with those new mechanics now today, they managed to pick up that from a record. And now every 14th of July at the French radio, they play our Marseillaise. Voilà.
Justice at last. I want to bring you to the present day, Stéphane, because looking back over your career, you've seen very many changes in jazz, and yet your style has continually developed. But with you, it's impossible to tell whether there was an influence from Charlie Parker or from John Coltrane. You absorbed, and you worked with a lot of young musicians.
I must admit, you can't change your style. And it's no good to change or to try to, like, because the new era of rock to style is, to me, I don't think I will go to that way. I prefer to remain where I am, and of course to perfect my play, better tone, and do something, but to change completely, to go to another kind of music, like unfortunately some musicians. I'm sure there is always, if Louis Armstrong was alive, he will be always Louis Armstrong, and I don't think he will copy Dizzy Gillespie.
No.
He will remain always Armstrong, and that's what I try to do, to remain myself.
But all the way along, you worked with young musicians.
Well,
and whenever they work with you, they play perfectly. I think they have a great respect for you.
I play with young musicians because I'm young myself. Age has nothing to do. I like people who are young and they bring me something. The new way they play, why not? I like it. In Paris, not long ago, I've been playing with Martial Solal, which is a different style. I don't know. Last night, I have the great pleasure to play with Larry Holloway. That is really my water for me, you see. I'm free to play what I want, and but I will. I don't want to change my style for no reason at all.
You've encouraged a large number of young musicians, generation after generation of French violinists.
I always do that.
Where do you find the musicians? How did you meet, for instance, Martin Taylor, who was...
Martin Taylor, I met him here. I meet him here. He is an incredible guitar player. In France, I have my friend Marc Fosset, which is my opinion, is the continuation of Django, with a different way to play, of course, because Django used to accompany me. All those guitarists today, they can accompany you, but they are better as a soloist than accompagnateur. Marc Fosset, he accompagnes me. I can feel if I have an orchestra behind me, like Django used to do. Of course, Marc Fosset, he follows his time, you see, but the result is like that. I like to I like a guitar player who play like a piano, maybe. Not like a piano is not possible, but to produce the chord.
Do you still enjoy... I remember when I spoke to you soon after your 70th birthday, We met at Chichester, at the jazz festival there.
Yes,
I remember you telling me there that you'd just got your affairs all in order, and you said from now on everything is a bonus.
Exactly.
Do you still get the same enjoyment from playing?
Oh yes. I tell you again, I want to keep as fit as a fiddle. I know a tune called that. Somebody sent that to me. But I want to keep in good health, because with that health you can't do nothing. So I want to keep in good health to continue, because it's not the question of finance or something like that. I do it because I like to play. I like, for me, an evening like last night, which was very tiring, but I will have a marvelous souvenir of that. And I would like, really, if I could, to thank everybody who was playing with me last night. My dear Humphrey, I'm going back to Paris now. Unfortunately, I wish to stay here to go to the London Tower. I've never been there.
Have you?
No.
Next time you come, let's go. I haven't been there for a long time. It's been a pleasure, great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. I was pleased to speak with you.
Well, the second part of the concert at the Barbican, in which Stefan Grappelli was joined by his special guests, Yehudi Menuhin and Marion Montgomery, is tomorrow on 1 at 10:55. Earlier, Wogan at 7 celebrates the 40th anniversary of the arrival of the first West Indian immigrants to Britain and talks to actor Dolph Lundgren. Harold Cutmore's training of Peter Skellen, Annabel Croft and Eamon Holmes nears completion at 7:35. Will they make a competent yacht racing crew? Well, so many more questions could be answered at 8 in Dallas.
Close to the swimming pool in the centre of Lisburn. Ambulances took the